The thing is, I do want to ask you guys, which one of the questions was the one that threw you off the most?
Fuck, I forgot the first one, I'll be honest.
So like the ones ranging from like which African country was formerly Abyssinia or Pandora's Box or 1984 when the Jordans
Oh yeah, that one is interesting, man.
www dot.
World Wide Web, bro. See, that's the one I was confident on. That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had just no clue, man.
He started off strong.
Yeah,
He started off strong and led it to nothing.
It is what it is.
I mean, like I could have branched out to even more random questions, but I think these questions make less sense than those questions because if they're so remote from the truth, it's like, oh, okay. Like the bees, for example, they have 5 eyes. Did we fact check that? Is it? Because I think it is a thing, by the way. Like,
By the way, butterflies don't have vocal cords.
yeah,
What?
butterflies do not have vocal cords.
Yo.
The only animals.
So technically correct, man.
They don't have vocal cords?
Wait. Am I fuck up?
Shit, man.
The only time, huh?
What's up?
They do.
They do?
Oh, they do have.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Giraffes are the ones without.
But I never heard the butterfly
But
in
maybe,
my life.
have you ever
know,
tried
doing
to
any
hear a
noise.
butterfly?
Man, I only hear flapping around and stuff, man. I
But
don't
like,
know,
what if like
know?
you put it close and he's like, get out. It's like, get out of my way.
Oh man, that'd be so scary, man. Butterflies talking to me. And shit.
What's your guys' favorite animal then?
Chameleon, bro?
Chameleons?
Yeah, I love those fuckers, man. Change
Would you
color.
ever own one?
Fuck yeah. When I went to, North Africa, man, like, where was it again? Because I have such a bad memory.
North Africa? You used to
yeah.
live there? Or
No,
just
no, I
go
used
there?
to, I just went there for vacation and stuff. Tunisia.
Tunisia.
Tunisia, like I went there and it was so nice because I was on the beach, man, and this guy pulled up with a camel, man, and a fucking chameleon on his shoulder. It was the most baller, like, scenery as a 5-year-old, that you could possibly see. And I just got so infatuated, man, Like, he let me, like, walk, like, the chameleon in my hand and stuff. And funny enough, later, like, in Portugal, which was last summer, I was at a friend's house and stuff, man. We were just walking down the road, and I just saw this green fuck, just walking through. And I don't know, man. I just had something with chameleons, man. There's probably some connection
Some
or some
connection
messages,
there.
Like, people believe in numbers, like angelic numbers and stuff.
Yeah.
I believe in chameleons. If I see one, it's a good sign.
That's
So you're
pretty
not to
good.
invest in one, bro.
Yeah, that's what I was
those
getting
things
to.
are fucking cool. Like, you just put them on different places and they kind of camouflage
Yeah,
with the
camouflage or
surroundings.
something, man. I like this shit, man. It's so fun,
Yeah, that would definitely be
But
an
one
investment.
thing, like a friend of mine he had his own chameleon. He
Yeah.
was amazing. But like the thing is, he would always complain about the maintenance of these animals. Like you need their own like environment, like
Yeah.
with the glass and everything, and like they need to
Heating
be
is very
happy.
important,
Exactly, and they
because
need
they're
to be
cold-blooded.
happy. Exactly, and it's such a hard thing, especially in the Netherlands, to get them the sun that they need and all that. It's like, I don't know, man. Like I'm one of those people that's like, I love huskies, for example,
Huskies,
but I would
yeah.
never get one because if I live in Rome, he's
Yeah.
gonna sweat 364
Take
days
them
out of.
Yeah.
and go running with them. and
Yeah,
have
but
them
that's
go
not how
sunset.
he's supposed to live, in my opinion. Like he's supposed to live how he wants to. It's like in the in the snow,
Yeah, it's
chasing
built for different
rabbits.
stuff, man.
I
Yeah.
get that, I get that.
What's your favorite animal then? If you say
Honestly,
giraffes, I'm gonna lose
It's
it.
always been a monkey. It's always just been monkeys.
Monkeys?
Yeah,
You
monkeys
know
are
gibbons, the ones with
Yeah, the
big-
ones that you,
wow,
like,
they're
put
so
on your
fun. That was
shoulder.
my other favorite animal.
a
man.
monkey.
Dude, I
But that's
wanna.
the, you just like
monkey.
animals. You
Yeah,
just
man, I like animals, man. They funky. I love it, man.
Dude, that's the thing where like I used to go on holiday in like Asia and there were like monkeys everywhere, And people would think, oh, cute little monkey there and everything. They're not. Sometimes they're cute, but those are vicious. They're aggressive,
Yeah.
and they're also known for stealing. Like there's tourists walking around. And then you got like a bag or something with a camera in or something. Sometimes they would actually just take certain things off you and just dip, run away. And you're not gonna be able to chase the monkey because he's off in the trees, he's gone.
That's the thing. I saw a lot of videos. I bet the audience has seen even more of like the tourist with the bag just taking a video of the monkey, and then the monkey just jumps on their head, like grabs the hair, grabs the bag, and books it.
But bro, they're vicious, they're aggressive.
But that's what I mean. It's like you don't go to a monkey doesn't come to a human city trying to steal apples because it will probably be restrained. That's kind of what we're doing, but in reverse. It's like we go there in their environment and like.
But I swear they have a real problem there in Asia with like monkey theft, especially like the local stores, because monkeys are everywhere. They're like running around the street from pole to pole. So like those things are sort of like adapted almost, like they've got that sense of stealing. Because all like the fruit in front, they all got taken away and everything.
But do you think tourists go there and feed the monkeys? Because that causes a lot of these problems.
Well, I mean, obviously they do. it's tourists. All of a sudden, there's monkeys running around everywhere. You don't see that here in Holland, you know. So your automatic response, yes, let's give attention to them, give them food, everything, and then next thing you know, shit's taken, bag, phone, whatever.
Literally.
Yeah.
Damn.
Peak,
Anyway, let's get more to Gabi, shall we? So I want to know, for what reason are you sitting next to me right now? What led from you being in Sardinia, I imagine?
Bologna.
Just Bologna? Did I say Sardinia?
Yeah,
I'm an
Sardinia,
asshole.
yeah, man.
Oh, yeah.
And Sicily.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Like, that was polar expect. I was like, you were looking so serious. He was like,
Yeah, I
from
even
Sardinia.
said, yeah, and I looked at him, I was like,
what?
wait, what did I say?
I was like, okay, man, okay, then I guess I'll be from Sardinia from now on, you know? Island boy, you know? You know?
No. Okay, yes. So what made you make that decision to move to Amsterdam? I imagine initially you moved to Amsterdam, right?
No, so initially I moved actually to Utrecht.
Oh.
But funny enough, my first choice to when moving here was Hilversum because, you know, like pretty much this whole situation where I moved from Italy because, you know, for the audience, since I guess not they got that, I'm originally from Italy. I moved here in the Netherlands due to the reason that it was for work because my dad, as we mentioned also like during the quiz, you know, he works for Nike.
Yeah.
And as I do not know how many people know it, but you know, there's in Hilversum the headquarters of Nike in Europe. So, you know, they decided to move us there. So ideally we wanted to go there. But, you know, since, you know, I did not know Dutch back in the day, you know, and pretty much not even and now not that well.
We tried to adapt.
You know, I wanted to go to, my parents wanted me to go to an international school. So, you know, we wanted to go to the one in Hilversum. But the thing is that the waiting list, you know, the waiting time was so huge that they were like, fuck it, let's go to Utrecht, man. And, you know, just enroll into this one. Which was like, you know, the underdog, you know.
But
they initially had like only 5 students in that. Yeah, I pretty much grew up with the school, you know, like seeing every single year, like, you know, building up and stuff. It was crazy, man.
But
know?
I think because you did the IB, right, the International Baccalaureate,
Yeah.
and that's the thing is like me and exactly, me and Cedric also happened to do that same course, and like I guess I had a similar experience where we grew with the school as well as it expanded and grew. Is that like a thing that's happening now with the IB schools that they're developing into a degree that I can't even comprehend? Because I mean, in Rome, as I saw, there's the American school, which is doing very well at this very moment in time. It's like in the city center. And like, that's the thing. It's like more and more people are going there, but I'm seeing the rates of people coming here to study as well as going up.
It's going up, definitely.
I guess this leads to the next conversation. Do you think, well, Rotterdam, you currently live in Rotterdam for anyone not knowing, but do you think Rotterdam is as international as it seemed when you were coming here?
Fuck, that's a very good question, man. You know, like, let me put it 1 second.
Yeah, no worry.
Let me
Did
process it, you know.
Did you think when you moved here? Did you?
Here, I mean, yeah, there's definitely an international environment, and I mean nowadays as well, the average Dutch person would be able to speak English, you know. So it'll be easy for people to come here and easily integrate with the culture and society because everyone around them speaks English. But like saying with the international crowd, I think there's a lot of international cultures here in Rotterdam, and especially at Erasmus, at all the universities, you know. It's people coming from all over the world, and that's why it's nice to be able to see them as well, you know. Involve myself with that international culture, because I think I'd be part of it, and I think, yeah, you guys are as well.
Do you feel the same way?
Yeah, I feel the same, and also like it's definitely more international to what I used to be used to back in the day because
in Sardinia.
Of course, in Sardinia, you know, like of course because if you look back into Italy, man, it's not international at all. Like
I feel that.
There's a lot of ethnicities, a lot of people coming from everywhere, but there's not that same sense of being international since you know, like you're forced to speak Italian, like in Italy, like if you do not know how to speak it, it's gonna be a nightmare living there, man, because people will try to communicate with you and stuff, but
it's just hard.
It's gonna be tough, man. You know,
I guess
they don't speak English there.
Very little.
Depends on I think depends on the place, but I would dare say that the majority of people, especially because in Italy, as you just said, it's not like you go to Italy and you speak English. Like I speak English to some employees when I don't want them to understand me. That's what I mean. Like that's But I know for a fact that more and more people of the youth are getting really good at speaking English. Like in comparison to what I was used to like 10 years ago, those same people are now like capable of going to study in the UK.
There's also a lot of Italian people in Holland only itself. Like, but in every city that I've gone to, you know, like a group, like with my group of friends, there always also be like Italian people there as well, and they're always not the same. You know, it's always energetic, lively. You know, like that's what
What
is
can
the
I
one
say?
thing that I've noticed about Italians. But,
Well, that makes me proud to be of the nationality that I am.
Likewise, man. You know,
But
what can I
there's one
say?
thing though about nationality. I mean, you raised a very interesting point, which is that Dutch people have adapted to speak English to the international crowd. But do you think that undermines the feeling of nationality? As in, like, I am Dutch, I will speak my language because it's my country.
yeah, I feel like the Dutch people don't focus on that as much. I don't want to talk about.
Well, not
the whole
you're not
universe, but
speaking
my
for
own
all of them.
experience and my family, like slowly started to integrate English into our language, even just at home. It's now a mix of English, you know, it's Dutch and English together, but like we're slowly starting to not have fully Dutch conversations anymore. And I feel like that's with more international people as well who've moved around and started speaking English, that they've kind of almost lost the Dutch culture, you know, but not really. But you know, like it's just you're losing touch of it slowly, gradually.
Do you feel the way, but reversed? Like when you go back to Italy, do you feel like
Mhm.
you don't understand them 100% as you used to?
I mean, sometimes it's not like you get like a culture shock again and stuff like that, but I mean, like you know, when I come back, especially you know through Bologna and now Sardinia, in this
No,
case,
not
you know,
Sardinia, not
you
Sardinia.
know, like when I get back, you know, like aside the you know, of course, the nostalgic, you know, feel overwhelming feeling
Mm.
that you get, you know, since you know I spend most time here than there. You know, like sometimes I really need to readapt a bit my caliber because like it's not like you have like a different personality, you know, when you go from country to country, right? But you used to like you relate differently to people, especially like you know, in Italy I relate to people in a certain way,
Yeah.
and then here in the Netherlands I relate in another way, and this is simply due to circumstances, you know. Like I tend to be much more, I think, respectful in Italy, especially because there's also like a higher elderly population compared to here as well, you know. So you know, I tend to be much more, yeah, much more polite and stuff. Meanwhile, compared here, I just fuck
Huh?
around. Like
I never thought about it like
you know,
that.
yeah, that's how I work. If you see me at a restaurant, you're gonna be shocked, dude. You're gonna be
You're
like,
gonna have all
please, dude.
table manners and everything.
Yeah, dude,
What do you
dude, he's gonna be like, dude, get the fuck out of here, man. You know, like with your posh ass. You
Yeah,
know,
just be like,
get
what
outta
you
here,
doing,
you know?
man?
No, but yeah.
No, I appreciate that, but I mean, the reason why I asked that is also because when I go back to Italy, it's like there is this, also the language barrier in the sense that like I'm speaking normal Italian, but it's like there are phrases and
Yeah.
specific circumstances where English is like way better to describe something. Then it's like in Italian you have some things, some words that just don't exist in English. So I guess the problem is that like you need more languages to speak more of your mind. The problem is the more languages you have, the more likely you are to forget
Oh, it
most
is, man, I'll
things.
tell you that, bro. Cause like I mean, I didn't mention it, but like I like the three main languages that I speak is like aside of course English and Italian. I also you know speak Spanish. You know, since also I spent a lot of times with Spanish,
Yeah,
people,
as
so I'm
well.
forced to learn it. You know, also back in the day, I used to also like I spent quite a bit of time back in Moscow, so I had to learn
Oh.
a bit of Russian. You know, cause my auntie used to work there for you know a clothing line. And yeah, also like in Portugal, I had to learn a bit of Portuguese, especially
That's
drunk calls, drunk conversations with the taxi drivers. The best, man. That's the best way to learn, man. You know.
So do you
Yeah.
think that like
Mhm.
because you've traveled around a lot, and you know you've mentioned a lot of countries, do you think all the experiences that you've had and the different exposure to all the cultures have like
Mhm.
made you the way you are? You know, so open,
Oh,
so
definitely.
accepting of every culture.
Definitely,
and,
man.
like,
Because also since you know, like as I said, like I'm originally Italian, but my parents are you know they're mixed. You know, as in they're half and half. Like for example, my dad is half American and half Italian actually,
Yeah.
and my mom is half Brit and half Italian.
Oh,
right?
wow.
So it's very confusing, man. Since I was born, you know, you just get like they constantly flush fucking culture on culture on culture, you know. So you just get used to it, man. You know, so that's why I feel like I just get super in touch and I'm very comfy in every situation when I'm talking to
But
anybody.
did you end up going like what Cedric was describing earlier about the Dinglish, the Dutch English?
Oh,
Do you
dude,
do it
yeah,
with
it happens.
Italian?
Unfortunately, it happens. And also sometimes, I don't know if you notice when we speak sometimes, you know, outside of this scenario, you
Yeah.
know, like maybe we start a conversation in Italian,
And
then he
then we
switches in
sh-
English,
Yeah.
and then he takes 5 minutes.
Spanish.
It's holy fuck, we just switched like languages and we didn't
Yeah.
notice. Like the fuck is
Yeah.
happening, you know?
It was funny
So
though.
funny.
It was funny
That's right.
because I was talking to Gabriele outside, and then I was speaking in Italian, and then my team comes up, and I start speaking in English, and then his friends pull up and they're Spanish.
Yeah,
So it's
man.
like in that moment in time, it's like you
I have as
realize.
well, like because I speak Dutch as well,
Mhm.
and then when there's another person who's also Dutch, but in an international environment, I'll never speak Dutch to them. It almost feels weird to speak Dutch to them. I always speak
Yeah.
English, but I don't know why it's like that.
I think it's because
just
of that thing. Because like I don't know. I don't like. I've been seeing more and more movements, especially in the linguistic world. I guess from a lot of Dutch schools where they want to push the idea that Dutch children should learn Dutch or else they're gonna lose it. And the thing is, it's like I'm one of those people that believes that cultures are very important in order to understand who we are. So if you forget a culture, it's like you're killing it and you're killing everything that it stood for. Like imagine a village in Italy gets removed. That's so much history. Imagine a language. You know, it's like I would lose
like
my
a
mind.
dialect, man, or something.
Like a dialect as well, but this is like the language, the national language of a country that is, you know, really great at exports. So it's like maybe globalization has led them to eventually succumb to this linguistic.
But I feel like it's like the globalization aspect to it. It's making people more interconnected all over the world. It's almost creating a new culture, which is like the world culture, but then people are forgetting about the cultures which they started with. 'Cause,
Yeah,
you know,
their
the-
roots.
Yeah, their roots, you know, because they're starting to involve themselves with this kind of international environment. So you're always exposed to different
Wait,
cultures.
actually,
you know?
about roots. So your parents were half and half Italian. Did they? Well, you were born in Italy,
I
right?
was born
Was
in
that
Rimini.
was
Yeah.
that like planned as in like let's go back to the roots where we, you know, and let's have our child be there, or was it
Fuck,
more like?
I
meh?
really don't know. I asked my friends.
Hey, I
and
mean,
stuff,
you
so,
better
know,
ask
like,
them.
you
I
feel
wanna
me?
know.
But definitely, like, I mean, the thing is, like, my dad is more attached to Italy compared to my mom, because my mom always been a free spirit. This is also why I'm such a free spirit. My
Mhm.
mom always been in love with changes, always moving. So I think probably what I'm assuming, you know, my dad just convinced her, was like, fuck it, let's have the kids here. Let's, you know, have like, you know, let them experience, you know, in my opinion, one of the best cultures, you know, personally. You know,
Maybe it's because we were
and
born
let's see
there.
how, you know, they grow out, you know, because also, like, I mean, I feel like Italy, or at least where I was raised, because I wasn't even raised in the big city, man. I was raised in a small village as a kid, so it was like a very safe space and stuff like that. So
I can relate to
I
that.
think that was my parents' intention, just to, you know, like, just have a happy, you know, chill childhood. And then it's so funny because like 15 years later, I realized how fucked up that village was. But
No, it's
you know, that's beside the point, because you see all of your friends turning into like you know,
weird.
certain
Yeah.
type of you know, jobs, you know, and stuff like that.
That's
and
the
you're just
thing.
so
I can
surprised.
relate to that because it's like the little. I don't know. I guess that's the thing. Rome is huge. Rome is like 9 times Paris or 7 times
Oh,
Paris.
shit.
It's actually yeah. So that's the thing. It's like when you see that, it's like you can be in Rome. You can be born in Rome, like in the middle, and then you live like I don't know
Yeah,
on
the outskirts.
yeah
and
on the
stuff,
outskirts. So it's like the villages that you have there. I guess like
Mhm.
yeah, they're still the same commune, like the
Mhm,
same
yeah, same commune, the same
gemeente,
uh,
right?
well, they're under the same wingspan, I guess.
Yeah,
you know,
like the
if you
same,
wanna
but
put
like
it
that's
that
the
way.
thing. It's like the people from there, you can clearly see that like they had a choice. It's like either to be in the, like in the bad side of the industry of jobs.
So they did have a choice.
They did. I
It's
feel like there is a
just,
choice.
You know, with your village,
Mhm.
because you saw like
Yeah.
when you look back at it and you see
Mhm.
all your friends with like the jobs and stuff.
Mhm.
Were you like the one to come out of it, or like was it difficult to come? Like, are they still all in Italy and like
Mhm. Like
doing those, you know, like you said, the jobs?
yeah,
and
like
stuff,
I mean, yeah, you know that.
that.
Yeah, I mean, like right now, of course. Well, I mean, given the situation, man, they're not doing it as much. But I mean, I don't know. It was just cause also like I didn't go like initially once I moved here, I didn't go for a while, man. And it was pretty surprising, you know, see
Yeah,
how they
see,
turned out, you know. Like you come there, you know, like you're still kind of per se innocent. It's like, hey, yo, what's up? No, a long time no see. And then it's like you hear these fucker stories, and it's like, dude, like you're like 15, my guy. You're looking like a fucking 25-year-old, my guy. Like, goddamn, like you know.
Oh
Yeah, but
no.
it's very overwhelming, man. You know, like you do not get in touch with people for a while, and then you see like what type of path they choose in their life, man.
The fact that you were able to like travel and stuff,
Mhm.
you know, is that what like made you not go into that, like into that industry and everything?
Well,
Like they try and give you the opportunity to go out.
Oh,
and
definitely to
explore
have
and,
different
like, see
experiences,
exactly.
and definitely it broadened my mind compared to theirs, because since most of them, I think they have not even ever traveled by
No,
plane.
okay,
So you know,
and do you see
living
that
in
a lot in those villages?
yeah,
In the
you can see it's very easy. Yeah, like it's very easy to see. Like literally, they just like I don't know. They become like since they are like they start living there, they become so attached.
Yeah.
That's where they are born, and that's where they're gonna die, man. You know,
Yeah,
and it's crazy because like you know in such a small village, man. After a while, you know, at least for me, since I love to explore and I'm a free spirit, man. After a while, I would like to go over the small village, man. Like, what are you gonna do every single day, like in such a small village? It becomes so repetitive.
Yeah.
And I hate like you know, like how do you say it? Like fuck.
Redundant.
Like a monotone, like
yeah,
you
like
know, so, like always the same. Yeah, repeat a
just
cycle
keep
of the
on
same.
doing over
Like
and
I
over
hate
again.
doing that, man. I like
Yeah.
having every single day something new to do.
Yeah.
You know.
Do you
Like-
think Rotterdam provides that here?
Fuck yeah, it does, man.
Yeah, fair enough.
It
You-
does, man.
Because now with the corona.
Yeah, I
times
mean
and
it's more rough
everything,
now, but
exactly.
like I can see the potential. You know, like I mean,
Yeah.
since I lived in Utrecht before, shout out to you, my man.
Okay.
You know, before when there was no corona, like compared to like also Italy, I had so much more shit to do. I'll be honest, man. You know, because in Italy it's more like you know you go to the center. You know, sometimes you know you go to a bar or something, grab a coffee. You know, smoke a couple of cigs. You know, you just catch up,
chill with the
and it
mates.
just becomes every single day.
Yeah,
Instead here, like so many more services are provided that I really realize sometimes, like you know the difference that there is, you know,
I get
between
that,
these
I
two
get
countries. But I love both of them to death, man. You know, I ain't gonna be
Yeah.
biased. You know.
No, I don't think so.
Fair enough.
But I mean, for example, you were born in
Dordrecht.
Dordrecht, but you
But
moved
then I
out
moved away, yeah.
and you lived in essentially 3 different continents.
Yeah.
Thinking about it, does it? Yeah, I think so. So I mean, you must have seen culture shock, like in several different environments. Do you think like the struggle is the same, like to adapt to cultures that are either vastly different or similar? It's still the same shock.
In a way, yeah, you'll always learn to adapt the more you know, live there, have those experiences. Because, like, for example, when I lived in India, it would be normal for people to just spit on the floor, burp, and everything. So, you know, we were meeting our neighbors. And we were having my parents were having a nice conversation with them. The guy just burps and he's like spits his tobacco or something out. But then there's not even unpolite, you know, and then we had to get used to that, you know, it's like polite and everything, like that's just part of their culture. So there were just certain things, usually like small things, you know, that you just have to adjust a bit. But being able to have experienced everything is, you know, shit like that, I'm also like more open to everything.
But I'd be
accepting
surprised,
to
man. Like,
cultures.
imagine you're just like, hey, nice to meet you.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
like,
that would be weird.
I mean, sure, like if I knew it beforehand that it was a
Yeah.
custom, I'd be more eased out, right?
But you
But
see,
like
just
as a first
everyone
impression,
does
first time
this.
is like, whoa, ho,
Yeah.
what does
Must
this
be
mean? You
weird,
know,
huh?
because for example in Italy, like if you spit like even near somebody, it's super disrespectful, man.
Yeah.
Like
A
that
lot of
means literally
cultures.
you're looking for a fight, you know?
Yeah, you wouldn't do that ever.
Yeah.
Like,
I get that.
but I guess that yeah, those things. I don't know. Like, I didn't really have much of a culture shock when I came to the Netherlands. Besides some facts, like for example, in Italy, people are more outgoing in the sense that they will. I don't know. You're waiting for the bus. You might just get in a conversation with someone and talk to them. Maybe it's the like the place where I went because I went to The Hague, which is like I guess it's like the king's city, whatever. It's like older generations. Man, in 10 years, I've never had a good conversation with someone just
No?
like that. Like the only good conversations I had were with people who were clearly expats or from other countries too.
Yeah.
I mean, even in Rotterdam, I was the only person that actually came up to me to talk to me was a mailman from DHL who was like, "Yeah, I hate these international people," and I was like, "Yeah, dude, you're telling me
Yeah,
that."
you're telling
I
me
was
that
like-
directly.
but he was like, "Yeah, no, like I hate them because they don't adapt, but like it took me ages." So ultimately, I don't know. Maybe it's like that's the I think the one thing that Italians, or at least from my point of view, that Italians struggle with when they come to the Netherlands is the idea that nobody gives a shit
Yeah.
about what you do at all. Like you could be
Sucks,
dressed in
man.
like however you want, nobody will care. In Italy, I mean, yeah, they will. You know, it's like they might not show it, but they will think about it.
Sometimes they will even fucking let you know, man. I'll tell you that, man.
But I mean, you have a history. Your family's entirely in moda or like clothing design.
Yeah.
Are you willing to pursue the same sort of path?
Well, so that's a very good question because I do not know, of course, what the future holds for me. You know, like and like at least for like maybe near future, I know, but you know we gotta see. But so like I consider myself, you know, of course, an artist. You know, I work with visuals and all of that. but I've taken also a bit of interest in clothes, so
Hmm.
I might pursue that. But you know, since I think the best way like art, like for me, like art, it's about being free, man. It's being able to express yourself. So whatever medium format is there for me to express myself freely, I'll pursue that. You know, so if clothes will be, you know, because I still need to experiment with
Yeah.
it. If it is a way to express myself freely, I'll definitely might take that path. You know.
And in what forms do you do that now with
Um,
art related?
So for me, graffiti definitely, man. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna incriminate myself whatsoever. The
Nah, I mean,
spots,
there's legal
you know?
spots to do.
Yeah, no,
it
there
here.
are legal spots, but you know, I like the frizz. And like, I'm an adrenaline junkie, you know, like,
Hell
you
yeah.
know. And yeah, side graffiti. I like also like, you know, plastic painting. You know, I'm sorry. I recently got a lot into digital also art. This is why I'm pretty hyped to work with you guys.
Yeah,
You know, by the way,
the second logo
quick
should
plug
be
in,
out. Yeah.
Quick plug in, guys. You know. And also what else? Well, I work with most of the conventional, like I already used most of the conventional materials such as, you know, classic paint, acrylic paint, you know, oils, watercolors, all of that stuff. I always work with that. Super fun. But I'm getting really into digital because it's a whole new world, man. You know, you can do a whole lot
I
of
mean,
stuff.
that's the thing with
You know?
clothing design. It's such a broad thing
It
that
is.
like you could be good at drawing, you could be good at like digital stuff,
Yeah.
as you said. You could be good at marketing, and essentially you are needed for that
Yeah.
business anyway. So I mean, I think it's really wise to say that you could take this business or this industry from any angle.
Yeah,
but
that's the thing. You
Would,
know?
are you one of those people that believes that?
Mhm.
Well, I don't know. I'll just toss a statement and then
Yeah,
you
for
see
sure.
how it sticks. Because I personally believe that doing something just to make money out of it, yeah, it's something to do, but not something to do with for the rest of your
Oh,
life.
fuck money, my guy.
Yeah, but like I mean, I'm not gonna deny that
like-
money is very important.
Like it is
especially
important to
live.
survive, right? Like for like necessities, you know, buying food and so on. But as also we were talking downstairs before, man, money doesn't make you happy, man. You can look in so many cases of rich people, you know, like on social media. You know, they're gonna flatter like, you know, like a flex and
Yeah,
post
yeah.
about, oh yeah, I'm living the life, man. But if you look at it, man, like on the other side of the screen, bro, most of them are not happy. They're not content because money's not the answer, man.
It's never
The way
the
I see
answer.
it, money is the root of all evil, man. Joey Badass reference, by the way, boys. So, you know, if you see him, man, shout out my boy. You know?
Shut up, the boy. Well,
No.
do you have any companies in mind in particular? Like, have you thought about which sort of company you would want to
So
back
I wanted
up?
to do like for example, if I was partaking in clothes, I wanted to do something directed to skating clothes because I used to skate as well. I don't know if you remember that I mentioned I saw that SB as well. And I like the idea was to create like the name of the overall like series of pieces was gonna be called like Baggy and Steezy, man. You know, classic skate name, man. And also I just love baggy stuff. As you can see, man, I like to be free,
Yeah.
man, and nice and spacious.
Yeah.
You know, that's the concept.
But I like
and-
how the skater culture is now. Like, I mean, look, a lot of skaters will tell you otherwise. So for any
Yeah,
one of my
of course,
friends
it's so
watching it, like,
controversial.
deal with it, suck it up. But like, the thing is,
Mm-hmm.
like, people always complain about how people want to integrate their skate culture, like, and show that they skate when they don't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
you know,
know.
it's like you
The
have people with
AKA
thrash or-
posers, I know.
the posers,
Thrasher,
right?
I know.
But the thing is, it's like, I kind of see it differently. I'm like,
Yeah.
if you have more and more people interested in your brand,
better,
right?
man.
And the brand is based around this discipline. You are giving attention to that discipline, and now that the Olympics have acknowledged skating as a sport in
Yeah,
2020,
yeah.
it's
Oh,
gonna be
shit,
an
okay.
Olympic sport. So that's the thing. It's like because of all that clout that they got from the public, now they're an Olympic sport. Like what? It's a
That's kinda
discipline.
sick, man.
Or
That's
against
kind of sick, low key, man. I'd be so hyped, man, to watch it.
No, the teams. I've already been seeing the teams
Yeah?
develop. Like the American team is definitely gonna take a dub unless the Brazilian one takes the dub. It's the battle is between them two. Genuinely, like
But
in
you
my
know,
opinion.
like the people who are against the fact, like against poses and stuff.
Mm.
Because that's more like the skaters themselves, not the companies. Because the
Mhm.
companies love it, right? Like people.
Yeah,
or
it's
is
like,
that
"You're
not- or is
buying
that-
our
I don't
shit."
know, or
Supreme
it
is a
not-
perfect example of
Yeah.
that. Supreme literally went out and they were like, "Hey, we make boards. Guess what? Now we make random objects with just
We
our
bring
name on it."
Supreme on it, man.
It's like they literally sold bricks with
Yeah.
the name
Yeah,
Supreme
we-
to
people
prove a
stand in
point.
line.
Or have you seen the crowbar one? You know that the dude waiting in line. He's like, so what are you waiting here for? Like, yeah, man, a crowbar. Is like, do you know that the crowbar has written Supreme on it? He's like, yeah, I didn't even know, man. I just want a fucking crowbar,
like,
bro.
"What's
You know, it's so
Supreme?"
funny. You know?
It's true because
So funny.
ultimately that's the thing. It's like people want to make it like a hype thing, but I think it's like, look, the hype is important to sell clothes. But the thing is, the hype is also important to see the culture that's most prolific now, I guess, or the most hyped. And that's the thing. It's like if you adapt to the culture, then you kind of become one of the many. And if you go against the culture, then you become one of the strange. So it's like you have some people who are adapted, like who have styles that I haven't seen before, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of weird. But I think that's kind of what clothing is, right? It represents a person, so why not have so many different types
It's
of...
part of the identity, man, of someone's identity, the way you know.
So
you
you see,
dress
being
yourself.
a poser can
you know?
actually work against you, because if you
Because then that almost describes their personality in a way. Like
I mean,
you
there's
could
a- yeah.
almost, you know.
There's a lot of people who will tell you that like they wear whatever and they don't care, but ultimately I think it's like, you know how people say first impressions are important?
Yeah.
The visuals are your first impressions, then
Yeah,
your
exactly.
voice comes in, and then your behavior, and then your personality, and then your mannerisms or whatever. But until then, what I can see is what you are, right? So I don't know. I feel like this is one of those topics that could go on forever, and it would be really
definitely.
interesting for a future podcast. But as of now, we're running out of time, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
I really appreciate your presence for today's podcast. Yeah, we're at 58 minutes exactly.
Well, thank you as
Perfect.
well,
I
man.
appreciate
Thank you so
you.
much for having me.
Thank you guys
And,
for participating in the
yeah,
game, and thank you for
definitely.
winning and proving the.
And I hope to see you guys probably next season or whenever.
Yeah, I mean,
Bobby Boys,
whenever we
Because I'm more than happy. It's super fun, you know.
check out the
know.
second logo, which will be probably designed by the time this is out.
I'll
So,
make the next logo as well.
let's give
I'll
respect
make
to our
it for you
due.
guys.
Thank you guys for joining us.
Yeah.
And where can people find you?
What to say.
Yeah, I would say probably Instagram, man. If you wanna, I mean, I do not have at the moment that much content, but at Gabriele_Morino. What else? Yeah, I'll leave it as that, man. You know, cause you know other forms of social media that have more questionable content. We create it for ourselves, you know. You feel me? So yeah, guys, you know, just feel free if you wanna check out. You know, remember a little something. You know, I'm always down for a good talk, guys.
Well, thank you guys for having us, and have a nice day.
For having us.
Till next time, subscribe, do whatever. All right.
Alright, cool.